Good morning, third grade. Today is Tuesday, April 14th, and our objective for today is to review concepts related to fractions and practice some of those skills. You will need a piece of paper and something to write with as you watch this video. As a reminder, we learned that fractions come in two parts. The top is called the numerator, and it tells us the number of pieces either shaded or unshaded. Then we have the bottom part, or the denominator, that tells us the total number of pieces in the whole. Now, on your piece of paper, I want you to look at this shape and answer the following question. How many equal parts are there? What fraction is shaded in this shape? And write a number bond for this shape, identifying the shaded part and the unshaded part. Pause this video and do that now. So if we look at this shape, we can see that there are 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes that are all the same size. So we can say that there are 4 equal parts. Now, looking at what fraction is shaded, we have this piece here, that's 1 that's shaded, this piece here, that's 2 that's shaded, and this piece here, 3 that's shaded. So the fraction for the piece shaded is 3 in our numerator, because that's the number of pieces shaded, and 4 in our denominator, because we have a total of 4 pieces. Now, when we go to write our number bond, we know that a whole is equal to 1. So our 1 is going to be our whole, and we need to break it up into the parts that are shaded and unshaded. Because we already answered the following question, we know that 3/4 of this shape is shaded, and we need 1 more fourth to equal 4 pieces. So there's our number bond for this shape. Now, as we studied fraction, we also learned that a unit fraction is the value of each piece of the whole. So if we look at this one, it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces. So we have 8 pieces total. So we know that our denominator is 8. And each one of these pieces is one piece of the 8 pieces we have. So the value of each piece is 1 piece out of 8 pieces. Now, let's look and see if we can find the fraction for the number of parts that are shaded. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of our boxes are shaded, so 5 out of the 8 total boxes that we have altogether. Let's see if we can now find the number of boxes that are unshaded. Right. What we have left after the shaded pieces is 1, 2, 3 that are not shaded. So the fraction for the ones that are unshaded is 3 out of 8 pieces. On your piece of paper, I want you to look at this shape and answer these 2 questions. What fraction is shaded? And then write a number bond. Go ahead and pause the video and do that now. Looking at this shape, if we want to know the fraction of the shape that is shaded, we have 1, 2 pieces that are shaded. 2 pieces that are shaded. In total, we have 1, 2, 3 pieces. So we know that our denominator is 3. Now, in order to write a number bond, we know that we need a whole. Our whole is always going to equal 1. So now that we have that, I'm going to break it up and I'm going to use the unit fraction to identify the rest of our number bond. So here we have 1/3 here, 1/3 here, and 1/3 here. So I needed 3 pieces to make up my whole, and each piece is 1/3. And 1/3. So another skill that we learned when studying fractions was how to draw and label fractions that are greater than 1 whole. So here it says to draw 5/4. I know, looking at this, that I need to break my shape up into fourths because our denominator is 4 or 4 pieces. So I'm going to draw my rectangle and I'm going to break it up into 4 pieces. But it says that I have 5/4. So this 4 pieces is not going to be enough. So I'm going to draw another hole and break that one up into 4 pieces as well. So there's my second hole with 4 pieces. Now it says 5/4. So I need to go in and I need to color 5 of these boxes so that I have 5/4. So here's 1, here's 2, here's 3, here's 4, and here's 5. So now I have 5 pieces colored and 4 in each of my holes. Now on your paper, I want you to do this one on your own. Draw 7 thirds. 7 thirds. So go ahead and pause the video and do your 7 thirds on your own. So on your paper, to draw 7 thirds, you should have holes that are broken up into 3 parts, because thirds means 3 parts in each one of our holes. Now, I have 3 of them because I knew this one was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So one hole just wasn't going to be enough. I needed 3 holes, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 boxes colored, which gives us 7 thirds. So here I have one square that represents 1/6. If I have 1/6, how many equal parts do I have in my shape? That's right, I have 6. So I'm going to draw 6 boxes, 3 boxes, 4 boxes, 5 boxes, 6 boxes to represent my shape. Now, it also says to draw a number bond. Well, I know my shape, or my hole, is going to equal 1, and I have 6 pieces, so I need 6 lines coming off of my hole, and each one of these is 1/6. So 1/6, 1/6, 1/6, 1/6, 1/6, and 1/6. Now, on your paper, you're going to do this one on your own. Just like we did before, you're going to draw the shape. Each one of the parts is 1/7, and then draw a number bond. Do that now. So on your paper, you should have something like this. You should have a shape where each one of the pieces is 1/7. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So my shape has 7 equal parts. And then on my number bond, instead of doing the 7 pieces, I know that my fractions have to equal 7 total pieces. So I know that 3 plus 4 is 7. So 3/7 plus 4/7 equals 7/7, or 1 whole. We also learned how to compare fractions when looking at a different fractional piece, meaning the denominator is different, meaning that the whole is broken up into different parts. So use this chart and these fractional strips to determine whether or not the fraction is less than, greater than, or equal to. Pause the video and do that now. So if we look at the fractional strips, and looking at this one up here, if we look at 1/6 and 1/8, the 1/6 piece is greater than, so we're going to make sure our monster eats the bigger piece, which is 1/6. Looking at 1/8 and 1/3, 1/8 piece is a lot smaller than the 1/3 piece, so we're going to use less than to show that the 1/8 is less than 1/3. Now moving over here, we see that 1/4 is a lot smaller than 1/2, so 1/2 is greater. And then around here, we see that 1/6 and 1/6 is the same thing. 1/6 and 1/6 is the same thing, so they're equal to. Now, looking at rope A, rope B, and rope C, they all are equal to 1 whole. Now, if we wanted to use rope C to fill out rope A, how many pieces of rope C would we need? So in order to check my answer, I'm going to draw a line down to where rope C meets. And let's see, if I had rope C, which is about 1/4 of rope A, that means I would need 3 more pieces of rope C, or 4 pieces of rope C, to equal the whole length of rope A. Now, on your own, see if you can figure out how many pieces of rope B you would need to fill out the entire hole of rope A. Now, if I look at rope B and I draw my line like I did for rope C, where rope B and rope A meet, I can estimate that rope B is about 1/2 of rope A. So that means I would need one more length of rope B to equal the whole of rope A. Now, these are all the skills that we've looked at as we were studying fractions. Now, make sure you go to your exit ticket and use the images so that you can continue to solve the questions.